welcome to my daily live stream. So I hope you guys are doing well today. And I wanted to let you know that starting tomorrow at 7:30 in the morning, I am going to attempt to stream yoga live to help you guys. I do yoga, not yogas. I do yoga on Tuesdays and Thursdays usually in my workout routine. And so I wanted to share that with you all as well. If you guys need some help in getting centered, grounded before you are trading or just in life, I've always found that I return back to yoga when life is getting a little hectic. All right, just come join me. Oops. Let's see. I don't like that I have to do this a la minute live every minute. I guess I could do it with, I had extra set of hands that could share it, because right now it takes a little bit of time for me to do it while we are live. So, okay, I'm back to you guys. So hi Terry, good afternoon. I hope you guys are doing well. What do you think? You like the new burgundy look for the fall? It's a little chilly up here. So let's get into the watch list and what's going on in the market, everything like that. So here we go. We've got the SPY up, and yes, the anniversary of the Black Monday is holding true. But look at where we are when we back it out on the chart, right? We're on a 5-minute chart right now. Let's look at a 15-minute chart. We are testing the 346 level, like just below 345.60. I had put my level on my watch list, which you guys can subscribe to if you like, for extra discount off if you use Investor. There's my watch list right there with the price levels. Oh, you know what I should do? I've got an amazing idea, guys. Bear with me 2 seconds. I'm going to play around with this really quickly. Add source, screen capture, window. Right, let me just, haha, look at that. So cool. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Okay, so now you guys can see it as well. And this way you guys can see it. And I have the ability to move that. Can you guys see that, or is it too small? Yeah, it's a little fiery, isn't it, Bat Scientist? Right? It's a little fiery. Is that too small for you guys, or can you see that? Would you like that there during the live stream? I'm always about trying to improve this as well. So, all right. So here we have the SPY levels. 348.30 was my level to watch. Hey, if we can break below this, watch out. We'll likely have a pullback. Yeah, for sure. I'll add AMD and Facebook on here. You know what I checked out first thing for you this morning, Kyle? I was looking at Domino's. I saw it was up at 400. I was like, all right, I'm feeling good for Kyle. All right, so we were coming back. Now look, we're testing the low of after hours on Friday. So is this going to be an area where we start to see some support come in? You guys know that I do follow the dark pool. So let's see if we've had any dark pool activity on the SPY today. That anything that we should really watch. Helps, whoops, when I'm typing on the correct computer. So let's check it out. And I'm gonna try to get the guys from Live Ball on here. So it's loading. Let's go back over here. All right, so we're breaking down below 346, big area. Next potential one to watch would be down here 343 if we continue down to the downside. Look at how it is just fading away over here. All right, so on our daily chart, hey, that's also our 8 EMA right here. If we go to 45 minutes, you guys know I like the 45 minutes on the 425 on the 45 minutes. I got the oh, look, we are might find a support right here. Look at how it's testing this. It held a little bit here on this 200 simple moving average, and this is the 200 exponential moving average as well. So somebody just messaged me. All right. So right now, if we see some volume coming in and we see some support, let's see. Let's do this. Largest, is this today? No, that was October 6th. Let's check today. 150,000 at 346.74. So I would watch that one. Let's see if we are going to continue to the downside here or if we will go to the upside. All right, let's go through. You guys can see the list, right? So Tesla today, Tesla broke down below 444.40, which was my level to watch. I had that down here, 444.40. If we break below 444.40, there's a potential short there. And yes, they went ahead and brought it down pretty much immediately. Came down to the 200, broke above. Are we going to stop at 431.35? It looks like on the stochastics on the 45-minute chart, we might have some buying power come in here and rip this higher. Still watching. We do have earnings coming up. Is it tomorrow or Thursday? The 21st. So that's on Wednesday. Keep that in mind. They might be bringing it down to simply load up here. Let's check and see. Any big Tesla prints? No. Nothing abnormally large for Tesla. So we can ride this potentially up. Remember, Tesla tends to have, yeah. You can't see it? Okay, then I'm going to get rid of it. Thank you, Kyle, for letting me know. I will just get rid of that if it's not worth adding. All right, so we'll get rid of it. Thank you for letting me know. And Apple as well. So Apple pulling back to the downside. Again, you guys know my 425 right here that I'm looking at. Will this break down further? Are we going to find support? Let's check and see. Do we have any Apple prints to watch? Right? Nothing big. All right, so we might pull back to that 15 EMA over here, which is 1782. Then if we go down to 1717, that's almost right here with the 425. That could coincide and end up moving it back to the upside here. Hertz had crazy volume, and Hertz only has 155 million in the float. And look, it's almost traded double the float today, which is pretty astronomical. This one had big short volume as well. Just got really bright. So let's look at the short volume. This I think was 61% short, which is quite interesting because it had so many shares. 60% short. It was JKS that was 72%. So look, 462% short volume, 60%. So if we go back and we take 10% of this 768 million, that means that roughly half the float was still short overnight, right? Because that would be 76 million, and there's 155 million in the float for Hertz. So when we look back at it, is it any wonder that it continued to the upside here and then pulled back, and now it's fighting with this support level, right? It's fighting over here. Is it going to break down further and come and break below 250? Or will it break to the upside above the 320 area? Hey, Asif, I'm good, thank you. CCNC, lower float, that had bigger moves pre-market, and look, these are those pop and drops, right? Will it hold this 425? Probably not likely. KXIN spiked to $3 to $9. Oh, yeah, it's sad. But you know what? There's always someone making money in the market. So when you have a long that goes against you, just remember that as well, Asif, that those short sellers were potentially profiting on that side. And JKS. So JKS had 71% short volume. This is just a massive short squeeze, guys. the biggest volume is right here, and we're continuing to ride up, 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 up. Let's go and look at the short volumes for JKS. You guys know that I do follow short volumes. I find my information here, shortvolumes.com, and it's all free. And you can see, look at how the numbers are increasing: 70%, 73%, 75%, 70%, 71%. When this looks like it's going up, it's a short squeeze, Kyle. These are stubborn shorts. Look at, it's been above 50% basically since September 28th. So if we look, this is a trading view chart here as well. So September 28th. This is when the shorts, there were more people shorting this far back when it was at $36, and now it's over 100% up since then. So you have to remember, if you are short, much like Asif was talking about KXIN, look at JKS. As much as people might also be, let's check Tesla too and see what people's thought process is going into earnings coming up, what our short volume is starting to look like. All right, so they only shorted a lot on the 15th, right? You can see when we start to have the short volume increasing, it tends to ride up. Out of curiosity, let's look and see at the SPY as well. So let's see how stubborn people have been on the SPY as it went up the hill, right? So here's our 50 line, our 50% right here. So there's 50% right here. Well, they keep shorting as it's going up, and the market is bullish. Remember, there's always money pouring into the market. So it's only on those days when we have the continuation move, right? We're at 346. If we can break down here, there's a potential for it to just collapse. Remember, we have 20% of the S&P 500 reporting earnings tomorrow. Tomorrow will likely be a crazy, wild, volatile day. And you want to remember that. Please be cautious in swinging. If there is a earnings announcement for your stock tomorrow, as 20% of 500 will give you 125 stocks, right? Yeah, 125 stocks. No, 100, excuse me, 100 stocks are reporting tomorrow. So keep that in mind. All right. DraftKings continuing to the downside, likely in relation to ESPN and COVID and everything with that. However, it looks like maybe, just maybe, we're seeing a bottom coming in here at $42. And we're seeing some buying power on the daily to bring it back up. It's a little extended. It might come back up and test above the 50 simple moving average. We have earnings coming up, but we still have quite some time. We have roughly 2.5 weeks for earnings there. JMIA was a wild and crazy trade today, so to the downside and then to the upside, and it came in, it tested the upper bound up here. Will this break out and continue to the upside? Potentially. It would need to really break above 1580 for me to say, yes, this is really going to break up to the upside. AEL, I had as a potential short today, and look at that pull back. Beautiful short today on AEL. And look where it's coming down. Are we going to find support here at 25.58? Right? It had a big gap to fill, and it's filling it to the downside right now. Major volume. That's why gaps can be so amazing to trade. Let's look back. Aha, look, we're also hitting a support from the past. So it might find that we're going to have some buying power here and people will get into it down here. However, it also has that potential to fill back down further, come down to the 50 simple moving average, the 425, even back down here. So I would be hesitant. I have no idea what happened. All I can say is with the chart that this was not a bullish looking chart. This was looking quite bearish, being in the middle of this trading zone up here and the trading zone down here. All right, NEO. Neo, it's starting to somewhat look like it is setting up a rounded top on the 45-minute chart. Now that does not mean that this is time to just put in those shorts and just watch it drop down here, watch it drop back down to this trend line here. However, it might happen. We had a big short squeeze. We've had big volume candles here. If we start going below this open of 27.20, I would look for a potential move back down here to 25.50. All right. And Halliburton. Halliburton is up on the day. Actually had a bullish trade. I had it on my bear side today because it was pulling back pre-market. But it is moving to the upside now. And it broke above 12.50 and a nice move up to 12.70. All right, Facebook. Let's check this out. Oh, I forgot AMD. There it is. All right, so Facebook, we have been broken down. Whoops, didn't mean to draw. Let's undo that. Go over here. So it's coming down. It tested the 20 simple moving average on the daily. And for the volume, it's much like looking at the Qs and Microsoft and Apple. I will pull this down closer. I'd like to see if it can really break above 269.20 over here. I would look at that. 269.40. We'll bring it right on up here. 269.60. If it can break above there, then we'd likely test 271, and then above 271, continue on up to the upside. So we are outside of the upward trend a little bit. I'm actually going to adjust this. Right? I'm going to adjust it over here. We're still outside of that. Right? So is this a full-on trend change and we're going to continue to the downside? There is a possibility. However, it might be a ride to the downside on earnings. They are going to be reporting earnings next week. This might be a drop down for them to buy and then take it and skyrocket it up. So you have to remember with earnings, it can be quite volatile. Especially we have the anniversary of the 33rd year anniversary for Black Monday today. And that could play a role into the price action for today. I don't know if every single last year if it was a red day as well, and I'm curious to see what the statistics are for each Monday, like the third Monday in October. Is it always red? That would be something to look at. I'm going to go and do research on that. I'll let you guys know tomorrow. All right, do you all have any other stocks that you would like to see? I'm going to give you a second because I know there's a delay on the feed versus the chat. Today I'm also on Snap. All right, let's check out Snap. I'm on Ticker Talker, so I will have to cut it short in just about 5 minutes. Snap is looking nice and bullish over here. Oh, I didn't do AMD? You know what? You're right, Kyle. I'll do that next. I thought I went through the whole list because you put Facebook second. My bad there. All right. So we had the breakout over here of 28.50 and it broke out up above. And now we're setting 52-week highs. Earnings after, let's check and see if earnings is after hours or is it already earnings confirmed for tomorrow. So keep that on watch. It's tomorrow. This could be the pre-market run up for earnings happening tomorrow. Or tomorrow is the 20th. I'm so confused with the date. It's time for me to eat lunch. All right, and sorry about that, Kyle. Here we go. AMD. So it's tightening. Like it seems as if, you see how all the moving averages, they were really wide apart here and wide apart here. And it keeps bouncing off of this 425 EMA over here. If we can hold, which is also roughly the 21 EMA here, volume is dropping, stochastics look low on the daily chart and also on the 45-minute chart. So this might have a move to the upside. Up here, maybe they will test it again up at 84.60 over here. And then if it can break out, let's do, right? They sold it off of this trend line. So it's kind of a descending triangle right now. Will it break down further? Oh, I'm curious to see Gilead too. We were watching Gilead before to see if it would break. Oh, it broke. It broke to the downside here. You know what? I have no idea, Bat Scientist, if it will be passed or not, because I think Nancy Pelosi is waiting to see who gets elected. Truly. I feel like she might not want to pass the stimulus because she might feel that that will increase Trump's chances of getting elected. And I'm not sure that she's the biggest fan of Trump, considering they haven't really spoken in person. From the time that he snubbed her, where was I reading? He snubbed her somewhere. And as a result, they haven't spoken since. And it's really just been through their middlemen that they've been talking. All right, so PLTR. I know you brought this G-Man as well before. So it's still in this wedge here. Are we going to, we don't have any other moving averages really, but it will potentially break out if they can break above with volume. But volume is dropping and price action is dropping. So that's not the best scenario, right? Yeah, I don't know. One day they might say they're going to pass it, and then the next day they say they won't. So I just follow the dark pool prints and try to leave the politics out of it, because the really big guys are going to lay their prints and trade accordingly because they already know what's going on with the news. So also something else to look at. Look at how the SPY is down so much, and yet VXX is just being held. It surged and then it pulled right back down. So this dropping could be an indication that they're loading up right here. Let's see if we have any more SPY prints coming in. They could be loading up at 346. There we go, 1222. Right here. 75,000. Not that big, but 250,000 at 346.30. So seeing, you kind of have to put the puzzle pieces together as well. Right? Let's look at 2 45-minute charts. So the VXX, or the VIX, is going to be in relation to the puts on the SPY, the S&P 500. So the fact that this is dropping, this one is usually telling the truth, right? Because the VXX and the VIX are in relation to people hedging their positions for the S&P 500. So they were taking it up, all right. That also increases the volatility, or the IV, on stock options. Well, it pulled back, and now there's a potential for it to continue back up again. We're still in the upward motion for the shorter time frame here. All right, let's just try to leave the politics out of it, guys. And seeing that they're both dropping, if the VIX is dropping, typically, but not always, the SPY will go to the upside. So the fact that this is pulling back and these charts are trading in the same manner, one of them many times is not telling the truth. So we're seeing this slowly rise. Oh, I should put on a 45-minute chart, and then you'll see, right? Hey, they might have found support right here, and now they're going to take this back up and take it up to new highs, only to really mess with people. And we can see that at the 45-minute chart, it's showing a bit oversold down here. Are we going to close below that 346 level, right? We were talking about that before. That's quite important. Or are they going to take it back up? They just brought it down simply to load up down here, and they're going to take it up higher, right? Let's look at the daily chart on both as well. right? So the VIX overall, you can see it's always going down because it's in relation to calls, right? So, and puts more importantly. So if people are not buying puts, they're buying more calls, then this is going to continue to drop. Now, for a long time, the fear, people's mentality and the fear of the market with COVID, everybody was still buying. So it's still staying pretty high. And that now we're coming down here. We gapped up last week. People bought more calls, less puts. And now it seems like we've got a sideways price action, but it wasn't super crazy volume. Like this time it was super crazy volume. Back here it was super crazy volume. And really looking, I'm still bullish on the market right now. Even though it's coming back to our 8 EMA, that doesn't mean that we've broken into that downward trend just yet. Excuse me. Sorry, I tried to capture that sneeze so that you guys didn't hear it. I hope I caught it in time. All right, so I'm gonna wrap it up for today. If you guys wanna join me tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern, it'll be my first time trying to live stream yoga. So join me for some yoga. I will see you then. We'll get grounded and centered before the day starts, before we even look at the market. And we'll hopefully help you be more clear in your trading for the day. All right, Carpe Profit sees those profits one trade at a time. Have a great day, guys.